Can you hear us? If you could just type in the chat box that you can hear and see everything, that would be amazing. And then once we can see that we get a couple of responses, as there is quite a delay, then we'll get started. So firstly, we'd like to thank you for jumping on our webinar this evening. So tonight they will be speaking myself and my business partner, Bianca Jubeger. Bianca's just got back from travelling over the UK, growing her business for the past 5 months. So tonight we wanted to share with you a little bit about what we do and what we're looking for. So we thank you for taking the time to jump on this evening. As we know, you've probably got busy schedules, but we look forward to sharing with you exactly what we're looking for and what we do. So I haven't heard from anyone yet that they can actually hear us. So we're going to get started, and we will check in with you afterwards and make sure that everything was clear. So I'm going to pass it over to Bianca, and Bianca's going to tell you a bit about what we do.
So good evening, guys. Hi, my name is Bianca, as Jade said, and again, I want to personally thank you for making the time to be here tonight. So my journey actually started a while before I even met Usana. My dad was hospitalized in 2008. I received a phone call that he had lost more than 50% of his blood, which meant he was actually half dead. And I got a phone call and I had to ring him and tell him to go to hospital immediately. Now the problem is my dad owns his own business and works 18 hours a day, which can sound crazy, but it's true. So in 2008, he was hospitalized. He was in hospital for 2 weeks and got multiple blood transfusion and platelet transfusions. In 2009, he started a treatment to reverse the hepatitis C that had caused all these problems. Out of 12 people, he was the only one who was able to sustain the treatment because he added nutrition to his daily regime. He started juicing raw foods and eating a lot more healthy. Unfortunately, that treatment didn't get rid of the hepatitis C, and he was put on a long waiting list for a new treatment that was going to start 18 months later. So, to our surprise, 18 months later, he did start this treatment, and that is when I met Jade, who actually introduced me to Usana. I asked her multiple questions about what could help my father because his blood levels were low. He was constantly tired, and that seems normal, working 18 hours a day, but when you've been doing that for 30 years, and all of a sudden a change happens, you start to question what is actually happening. He started another treatment. There was 15 of them, my father being one of 15. It was a clinical trial. Now, Jade told me a lot of things that I could use to help my father keep his blood levels up, because one of the conditions of the treatment was if he didn't keep his blood levels up, he would actually have to stop the treatment. And the repercussions of that, so the causes of that, could actually make the disease worse. And after that, there would be no way to get out. Fortunately for me, I was open-minded and I basically listened to Jade and did everything that she advised me. And my father was one of 15 who successfully completed the treatment, and he's now hepatitis-free. And he still works his 18-hour days, but he's happy and healthy. So I'm very fortunate for that. Now, another thing, seeing my parents work a business for 30 years, well, me 25 years, but they've been in business for 30, I looked at them and I thought, okay, you've been working for such a long time in a very successful business, but if you wanted to retire tomorrow, could you? And they both said to me, no, Bianca, we can't. Like, we need to work the business. We need to go to work and work in our business. And I was like, okay. So I looked at the other side that Usana had to offer. And I thought, okay, if I could do this for a couple of years, perhaps I could change my life. And so I did. After it helped my father's life, I decided that what have I got to lose? My father's healthy, and I will become healthy as well. So I then started my journey with the Usana company. And from that, in the last 2 years, I've been able to travel overseas multiple times, to the US, to Bali, to Malaysia, and lately to the UK, where I've been able to expand my business and have teams growing in different countries. So tonight, I'm just going to go over what we do on the health side of the business, because there are different aspects, and I will cover health, and Jade is going to cover the opportunity that we're here to offer you. So here we go. So that's my dad and my mom and me, and that's my boyfriend who is living in the UK. Okay, so unfortunately I have to start with something very difficult. This is the reality of today. These are the 10 leading causes of premature deaths in Australia, and they're all degenerative, which means they happen over time. You can't catch it from another person. Heart disease, cardiac disease, dementia and Alzheimer's, chronic low respiratory diseases, diabetes, and all cancers. Now, the good thing is that these are also preventable. Heart disease is actually 85% preventable. Strokes are 73% preventable. Dementia and Alzheimer's, 50%. Diabetes is 95% preventable, and that is massive. And colon cancer is 73% preventable. Now, here's a little fun tip. Only 5% of cancers are hereditary, which means only 5% of them can actually come from your family, like from past generations. Non-inherited causes of cancer are lifestyle choices we make, the foods we eat, and our physical activity levels, and they all have a direct impact on our overall cancer risks. Now you're thinking, what causes all these different things? Well, here it is. We go to work with stress. We come home with stress. We, can't pay that phone bill, or that mortgage is coming up and we haven't got enough money, and we start stressing. Radiation. Now I'm sure, like, you guys are all on here tonight, so there's obviously a Wi-Fi or an internet connection in your home or at an office place, wherever you are. Wi-Fi produces so much radiation, our mobile phones. Pollution in the air. Now, we can't prevent the pollution in the air. Like when we're driving to work or catching the train, it's always there. Toxins that are on our foods or in our water. Chemicals that is sprayed on our foods. Pesticides. Our poor diet. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we're always rushing, so that quick and easy meal is very easy to get, and that enables a poor diet. And genetically modified foods. So if you look on your screen to the left, there's a cell culture which is healthy. Okay, that's what our cells look like when we're born. Healthy, they're buzzing around, vibrating off each other. Now in the middle we have a damaged cell culture. That is what happens when we're exposed to not all of them, but even just one of these causes of cell damage, either stress, radiation, like I mentioned before. And once we start introducing antioxidants and minerals, where it says oxidation defense, our cells actually start rebuilding and start vibrating off each other. So that's our goal. We want to start rebuilding those damaged cells to then eventually look like close enough to those healthy cells. Now there is a solution. Here we have the USANA Essentials, which is the flagship product of the company. Here it shows that approximately, if we were to take the same amount of nutrients from our foods daily, we would be consuming 22,000 calories and spend more than $200 a day to get the same amount of nutrients found in a daily dose of the essentials. Now here, I'm not sure about you guys, but I know I can't eat 44 large eggs a day or 85 bananas. It's pretty crazy how much food we actually need to eat these days to get the same amount of nutrients that our body actually needs. Now you're wondering, what's USANA and why can I say that it's so amazing? Who am I to say that? Well, here I want to show you our founder, Dr. Myron Wenz. Now he has a PhD in microbiology, specializing in immunology. Now he became very, very interested in this after he founded, well, first of all, he founded Gull Laboratories in 1972, and he was a world leader in human cell culture and medical diagnostic technologies. He also developed the first commercially available test kit for Epstein-Barr virus. Now, in his laboratory, he was able to keep cells alive for over 30 years. Now, his closest competitor did the same, but only reached 12 hours. So after he saw this, he shifted his research from prevention to maintenance, because he also, unfortunately for him, lost family members to these degenerative diseases. His father had a stroke, his brother heart disease, and his mum passed away from breast cancer. So he saw that he had all this knowledge and all these things around him, and he couldn't actually help them. So he shifted his research, and he now does diagnostics from health prevention and maintenance. And like I said, he's an expert in growing cells. And then finally, in 1992, he founded USANA Health Sciences. In 1998, he founded a medical institute called Sanaviv, which is in Mexico. He won the Albert Einstein Award for Outstanding Achievement in Life Sciences in 2007. And his vision is this: I dream of a world free from pain and suffering. I dream of a world free from disease. The USANA family will be the happiest and healthiest family on earth. Share my vision, love life, and live it to its fullest in happiness and health. And also in 2004, we have here that he opened his medical center in Uganda, Cambodia. So not only is Dr. Myron Wentz a man who wants to help the world free from pain and help individuals not only change their life financially, but also through their health, he also gives back to communities through his organization, the Children's True Health Fund. So he's an anthropologist, he's a philanthropist. Okay, now this is very important. Here I'm telling you the USANA difference. Now, Dr. Myron Wentz, he's a very ethical man. And with his expertise in the industry, he chose to adhere to pharmaceutical grade products. Where, see, vitamins don't actually need to be pharmaceutical grade. They can just be a food grade. But he chose to make sure that they are at the top of the market. They are number one. And he adheres to that every day. There's a 100% potency guarantee. So Dr. Myron Wentz has actually signed each bottle. And another thing that our company has that other companies don't is an athlete guarantee. Now what that means is athletes take our products, but they're not paid to take them. They choose to take them because we offer them that guarantee that if they are drug tested and it leads back to USANA and it's positive, like a positive drug, enhanced drug in their system, and leads back to USANA, USANA will pay them up to $1 million. So that's amazing. That is a guarantee that they have. And we have over 600 elite athletes in our company. Superior ingredients. So that means that we source ingredients from the best places around the world, and they are taken to our headquarters in Salt Lake City, and they are quarantined and tested before they are even processed to be the supplement. They're also balanced science-based formulas. So we have a group of team of scientists actually working within our headquarters and making sure that everything is up to date and following each regulation. And exceptional in-house manufacturing, like I mentioned before. We get the raw product and it's produced in-house, and then it's shipped across the world to our 19 different countries. So on this slide here, I'm showing you that we not only have our multivitamin, we also have optimizers which optimize for cardiovascular system, the nervous system, cellular, the skeletal, endocrine, and the digestive. So we cater to everyone's individual and personal needs. We also have a natural energy drink. So it has the natural sugars of 1.5 apples. And as you can see there, other brands have actual sugar and they're by the teaspoons. We have a low GI, which is a low glycemic food range, which is used not only for weight loss, but also for maintaining weight and also lowering blood sugar levels. And it's also a known fact that when you have a good sugar level, it also improves mood, and it can prevent other different lifestyle diseases that we were speaking about earlier. And lastly, we have our skincare and our body range. Now, this product took 10 years to manufacture because they wanted to make sure that it was chemical-free, preservative-free, and paraben-free. Now, I'm not sure if you know what parabens are. Parabens have actually been found in women's tumors from breast cancer. When they've cut open the tumor, they found parabens in there. So we're not just looking after our inside, we're also looking after our outside. And now I'd like to pass over to Jade, who's going to show you more about the opportunity. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Bianca. Now, I hope you guys learned something from that, and I'm just going to make sure, given was group 16, the first slide wouldn't change, so I can't do some presentation. Okay, so you're having trouble, the slides weren't changing, is that correct, Blair? Okay, let's try this. So it's got me up there, so looks like they're now changing. So I can even keep it small like this if you like. Let's have a look, so I'll change.
Can you see them now, Blair?
So I'll pop it there. Let's have a look if we change. Yep, okay, perfect. So it looks like it's changing right. Okay, well, I'd like to thank Bianca for taking the time to share a little bit about what our product range is. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how it is that you can actually get paid from doing this. Because I know you're probably thinking, oh, that's all good and well, but how's that actually going to benefit me? Well, do you mind if I tell you a little bit about myself and how I actually got started with this business? I sit here talking to you as a healthy 27-year-old, but that hasn't always been the case. At the age of 19, I was actually hit by a drunk driver. So it was a Friday night, and I don't know if any of you are 19 or recall being 19, but that was probably the last thing on my mind. I picked my brother up and was taking him and his friends to a party, and I was literally at the intersection to turn into the street, and a full drive traveling about 90 kilometers an hour collected my car with me, my brother, and two of his friends. My instinct was to throw myself across my brother's lap to protect him from going through the windscreen, and unfortunately from that it left me with many injuries that I was told I would have to carry through life with me. It wasn't until I met my fiance, as you can see here in the screen, that his sister told me about these vitamins that I just had to try. After being to many specialists and top specialists at that, and given absolutely no relief, I thought, you know what, I've got nothing to lose, so I gave them a go. Now I ask you this question: if you found something that could help you, and therefore your family and your friends, would you want to tell them about it? I know I did. So from that, I started to share my story. Now, before I move on with how it's changed my life, I want to stress one thing to you. My injuries were that bad that I was actually told that I would not be able to carry a baby. I was told that my spine would not be strong enough to carry a child due to the impact of the accident. Now, as I flick to the next slide, you can actually see that that is my son. And I carried him 42 weeks. Now, for anyone that understands a full-term pregnancy, you may know that it's only meant to be 40. So my body withheld that extra 2 weeks as well. So I did nothing but take these vitamins, nothing different in my life, but simply take the vitamins. And from that, I was actually able to carry my son. I was able to do things that I couldn't do before. It got me my quality of life back. I'm so grateful for the two things that this business has given me. It's my quality of life and the fact that I have time freedom. Now that I have a family, I understand the value of time freedom. The fact that if I want to stay home with my son, I do. I'm able to wake up when I want, do what I want. If my family needs me, if someone's sick and you have a sick family member and you need to be there, you can be. I don't need to ask anyone's permission. I'm there because I'm my own boss. I asked many of you before jumping on the call, can I ask you a question? And that question was, are you looking for a job or a home-based business? And then I also asked, did you know the difference? I asked many of you if you'd worked hard in a job before and if you'd become wealthy. I don't ask you if you became wealthy for the fact that you can go buy all the material items in the world. I ask for the fact that I want you to understand that money is simply an accelerator. An accelerator for if you're a good person and have good values, you can do many more good things. Would you agree? A good person can use money to donate back to charity. Like, who's the richest man in the world? Bill Gates. Who is one of the biggest philanthropists in the world? Bill Gates. What does that tell you? I'm simply here to show you an opportunity that changed my life. I will ask you before I go on that Are you someone that wants to work hard? Are you willing to work hard? Because if you are, this business will work for you and it will change your life in leaps and bounds like it did for mine. So just before I carry on, I'll tell you a little bit more about my story. When I started this, I was working 70 hours a week in my full-time job. I studied 5 years at uni, and I don't know about you guys, but when I finished uni, I didn't exactly have a job there waiting for me. So I was out of work for maybe 3-4 months looking for something, and then I came across a job with a company called CSR. I worked 70 hours a week. I then fell pregnant. My fiance here, who's in the picture, works for a building company. I don't know if many of you know much about the building industry, but it is very hard to chase money because it's a lot of cash work. Unfortunately, the situation happened where one of the biggest companies went broke, which meant David stopped being paid. So I want you to imagine this. I'm heavily pregnant. David's not being paid. The brickwork you see in the background is actually our new home. Our new home that was not too sure if we were going to be able to keep at this stage. Because I don't know if you know, but if you don't work, you don't get paid. So with me being pregnant, obviously, I intended on having my child and having time off. David, having no income coming in, but still going to work every day. So we realized that we had to do something and we had to make a change in our lives. Because if you keep doing what you're always doing, you're always going to get what you've always got. And at that stage, it wasn't looking too good. The thought of not being able to provide for my child was pretty scary. Not to mention the job where I was at had just marched out 100 people. 100 people. One of those was a father of a newborn child. Another one was someone that just returned from a 4-week holiday and had about $15,000 in debt. There is no such thing as job security, which I came to realize very quickly. So David and I decided that it was time to give our own business a shot, and now I'm going to give you some of the harsh realities and tell you why having your own business is the way to go. If you're willing to give up 5 years of your life and work for yourself, it can change your life. So unfortunately, many people are faced with real financial challenges. I don't know if any of you can relate to living paycheck to paycheck, so saddled with massive debt. So the average household has about $15,000 in credit card debt. That's $15,000. That doesn't include mortgages or student loans. So any students out there, you know you've also got your HECS on top of that as well. Now this is one that I don't like very much. Do you know you work 4 to 6 months a year just to pay your taxes? So I want you to think of this. Monday, you jump in the car to go to work. You're working for the tax department. Tuesday, you jump in your car, you work 9 to 5, 9 to 6, whatever it may be, you're working for the tax department. But I have some good news for you. By the time Wednesday comes, you're driving to work, but you're only working to 12 p.m. for the tax department. After that, you actually get to keep some of that money. I don't know about you, but I don't think that's very fair. Here's a study I have that studied 60 people at the age of 65, so 100 college graduates at the age of 65. So on 5% of these people, 5% only, became business investors. So that's out of 100%, quite clearly. 95% of the college graduates were employees. Now, I don't know about you, when I was studying at uni, which I did for 5 years, I wasn't dreaming of being an employee for the rest of my life. I had big dreams and big goals. So of that 5% that became investors, 1% became wealthy, which wealthy is a net worth of $2 million. 4% were financially free, which is $100,000 plus a year. Now, I don't know about you, but at school we're taught go to school, get a really good education, so go to uni, get a job and work hard. For how long? The rest of your life. If we had been taught at school to go to school, work for yourself, follow in the footsteps of that 1% that are wealthy, that is what would actually create a happy, healthy, livable, enjoyable life. So here's some other facts for you. So once again, the $15,000 household credit card debt. So unemployment rates. Now here we've got 5% didn't get to retire. 5%. 36% died from stress and health-related illnesses, which is what Bianca spoke about previously. And 54% were dead broke. They probably wish they were dead because they had no money and had to live their life on government and family assistance. I don't know about you, but when I was studying my 5 years at uni, that is the last thing I thought. So I ask you a question. Who would be happy with $70,000 a year income? I know when I ask this to a seminar, when I do large events, most people put their hands up and think, yeah, I would be really happy with $70,000. Well, if it's okay with you, I'm going to break down what $75,000 actually looks like. So $70,000 minus 33% tax, you're left with just under $47,000 in your pocket. That's annually. So a monthly income of about $3,900. So that would mean, say you have a $500,000 home, mortgage that is, at 6.7% over 30 years. That means just over $3,200 of what you're making is going towards your mortgage. Now that's a pretty average size mortgage. So then say you've got a car, $30,000. That's not too bad, right? At 5% over 5 years. So that takes away $580. You've got $400 for road expenses, $300 a month for food. I spend more than that a week. $350 on house utilities, $200 on entertainment, and an $80 mobile bill. Now just imagine if that one income is supporting 2 people or a family, because I'm pretty sure these figures would be a lot more. You're in minus $1,229 a month. That's minus. I hope you have a lot of savings, you do not want children, you don't have any existing debt, and you never ever want to take a holiday. Because if $70,000 is an income that you're going to be happy with, that is the kind of life that is ahead. I want to move away from the morbid now, and I want to get back to dreaming. When you're a child, I ask you this, what did you want to be? My friend that I was with last night told me he wanted to be a dinosaur. Now, I look at this picture and I think, who wouldn't want to have this house? Who doesn't want a beautiful big house? Who doesn't want a house that you have a hole in the roof just for the sake of it? Cars. Now, I refer to these as the boys' toys, but don't worry, girls, I know you want the nice cars too. What was your dream car growing up? And I ask you this, when you went to school, did that dream car change? I know growing up, my brother wanted a Lamborghini. He had pictures of them all over his room. But when he went to school, he was told to be realistic. Be realistic. So then he changed his dream car to a Honda Integra. It's quite different to a Ferrari. All because the words "be realistic" were introduced to him. Who wants a holiday? Who would want 2 holidays for 6 months a year? Except the only thing wrong with this picture is I want to be the right way up. Well, I ask you this, if you had the chance to travel to these countries, so currently the business is open in 19 countries and we are still expanding. So traveling to these countries means you can grow a business. You can do it from the comfort of your own home if you like. Like I'm talking to you at home, in my office with the heater on, a cup of warm water next to me, and you can grow an international business. Whether it be you travel there and take advantage of the wonderful tax advantages, take a holiday as well, or simply grow your business there. Now, has anyone heard of the gentleman called Robert Kiyosaki and his cash flow quadrant? So one thing I'd really like to stress to you is that we've got 4 quadrants. You've got an employee, self-employed, business builder, and investor. So if you think about any type of employment or what people do, they fall into those 4 categories. Would you agree? So an employee trades their time for money. So you work 1 hour, you get paid for 1 hour, right? Self-employed, so they work for themselves, they are the leverage. So pretty much they're like the employee, but they have to do all the paperwork. A big business builder, so they use money and networks to make money. And then an investor, so has time and uses leverages. Now, I want to smack you with quite a terrible reality here. So over on the left-hand side, you've got employee and self-employed. Guys, that is 90% of the world's population falls in those 2 quadrants. Yet, they only contain 10% of the world's wealth. That doesn't quite seem fair to me. On the other side of the quadrant, where you've got the big business builder and the investor, you've got 10% of the world's population and 90% of the world's wealth. So I ask you, on what side of the quadrant would you want to be? Because I know for me, as soon as I saw this, I realized I had to make a change over to the right. So which way would you want to go, linear or residual? Do any of you know what residual income is in comparison to linear? If you don't, I'll give you a quick rundown now. So linear income is you work 1 hour, you get paid for 1 hour. You don't go to work, you don't get paid. Then you have residual income. Residual income is, have you read the book Twilight, written by Stephanie Meyer? Most people are fully aware of the sequel Twilight. How many times did she write that book? Once. Every time that book is sold, Stephanie Meyer makes money or royalties from that book. Is that correct? What we do is we offer the chance for residual income. So you do something once and you get paid for it over and over and over again. So what that means is, using a team of people, you move health products through your business, which generate points, which get you paid. We do it as a team. So what that means is, just checking, so Bianca's telling me that the slides are not changing. Okay. So with the residual income, I'll keep them smaller so that way they're working. So with the residual income, you're getting paid over and over and over again for doing that one thing. For me, when I had my son Cruz, I took 4 months off from the business. For those 4 months, every single week, a paycheck went into my bank account. Every Friday, my pay went in because it's residual income. I'm still being paid for things when I first started this business. That's the beauty of residual. I don't know if you guys have a retirement plan or think about retirement, but most men in Australia have about $70,000+ in retirement. And women, I'm sorry to say, is probably only about 40. That's not a lot of money to retire on. Some people are fortunate to have a bit more, but if you wanted to retire in a year's time, 2 years' time, could you? There will come a day when your alarm clock will go off and you will not want to get up. Do you have the funds or the means or a backup plan for what to do when that day comes? That's the beauty of residual income. So the industry we're in is network marketing. Network marketing is booming. One person joins this industry every 6 minutes. There are more than 90 million people worldwide involved. And it's an industry which of sales make over $1.4 billion annually. So before I spoke about Robert Kiyosaki. Now Robert Kiyosaki is the gentleman to the right. So Robert Kiyosaki is the man that wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now for me, when I started this business, my parents were quite skeptical. They told me, oh, it's a scam. You're in one of those pyramid things. I'm like, what is that? I went and did a bit of research and I think, okay, look, I love my parents. My parents are beautiful people. But at the age of 73, my dad is still working. At the age of 60, my mum is still working. So what I realized was I was listening to people that I wanted to achieve something which they hadn't. I don't want to be working at the age of 73. So I thought what I need to do is look to the people that have achieved what I want to. They've done what I want to achieve and following their footsteps. We don't need to invent the wheel. We simply need to follow in the footsteps of what someone has done that we want to do. Donald Trump was on daytime TV and he was asked what he would do if he lost all his money. He said network marketing. He actually said I would find a good network marketing company and get to work. So Robert Kiyosaki says, the richest people in the world look and build networks. Everyone else looks for work. Robert Kiyosaki says, join a network marketing company, a good, reliable network marketing company, get to work, invest in real estate, and you'll have residual income for the rest of your life. And that's what I've done. I'm 27 and I've used the money I made from network marketing to invest in real estate to have multiple streams of residual income coming in. So you might have noticed I used the word credible on the previous slide. Most companies disappear in the first 5 years. USANA's been around for 22 years and we're on the New York Stock Exchange. We have 10 plus years of record sales growth and we are a publicly traded company. We're featured in magazines such as Forbes magazine, Success for Home magazine. So you want to be with a company that is credible. Now I ask you this, what does giving back mean to you? We have partnerships with many charities. Dr. Oz is part of Health Corps. Health Corps is a charity that goes around with Dr. Oz and promotes health around America. As we all know, there is a health crisis and it's an epidemic. So what they do is they go around and promote health around America. We've also got Ceneviv, which is a medical institute which focuses on cancer and diseases and helping those whose health is poor. They actually have an 80% reversal rate of cancer. We're partnered with Sydney Uni, University of Utah. So you know you're partnering with the best when you know you've got people like Dr. Oz. Now, I'd like to add, Dr. Oz does not get paid to promote these products. Dr. Oz is not on the books of USANA and either any of the athletes. So the 600 plus athletes, it's more now almost 700 athletes that take our products, none of which get paid. They all choose to take our products. So you might be thinking, okay, this sounds good, so how does it work? How do you get paid? Well, the first thing I'd like to ask is if you're working in a job, how many ways do you get paid? 1, maybe 2 at most. So weekly income, and then quite potentially maybe a Christmas bonus or a monthly bonus. With USANA, we have 6 ways of getting paid. Now, I'm going to talk about the 3 that are on the left-hand side. So you've got retail sales. Retail sales is you buy products through your business, you get the points that flow through your business, which get you paid, and you can sell the product for an extra amount. So you can make income off it 2 different ways. Weekly commissions is simply moving products with your team through your business to get paid weekly. Now, a lot of jobs these days get paid monthly and fortnightly. I would like to stress the fact that USANA pays weekly. Now, the lifetime matching bonus, this is a coaching bonus. So I don't know if any of you are in a management position or have ever been in a management position and you've had the ability to coach someone or train someone into their role or train someone into their new role, which might be replacing your job. Did your boss ever offer you 15% of their wage as a bonus to thank you for coaching them? No, we do. On top of your commissions, you can earn 15% of the people you coach and bring into the business, 15% for lifetime. That's why it's called lifetime matching bonus. Now over here with incentives, I just want to quickly touch on incentives. USANA has the most amazing incentive program that I have ever seen. I just went to Melbourne recently. I got paid to do a coaching course. They paid me to go there. I had a great accommodation. It was just luxury. It was beautiful. We also qualified for a cruise in the Caribbean, so a Caribbean cruise which leaves on Friday. Because I'm about to get married, it unfortunately didn't meet our timetable, so Dave and I are heading off to America in August. Or actually, we're leaving in July and we come back in September. But we go to convention in August and we actually get a cash bonus for going. Now, they're pretty amazing incentives. Most people dream of having a holiday and work their backsides off to get a holiday. Imagine working your backside off to not only get paid but be given a holiday. Now, you're probably thinking, well, how much can I earn? Now, I just want to give you a little bit of a rundown on, these are just some basic figures. So this is actually the American payout system. So Australia's a lot higher. So you can earn, say you want to earn just a little bit, $50 to $100 a month. Possibly you might want to earn $1,000 to $5,000 a month. At the moment, our highest earning income is a 15-star diamond, and I can't even tell you how much that is a week. It is massive. So as you can see here, a gold director in Australia, just so you know, would probably earn about $1,500 a week. Now, that's without bonuses. That's without all those 15% bonuses that I spoke about. So you're probably thinking, well, this is all great and well, but like, how do I do something like this? Well, we all start on our L's just like driving. We have plenty of online training, so regardless to where you're situated, whether it's around the globe, here in Australia, Sydney, Melbourne, wherever. We have a team all around Sydney, all around Australia, and all around the globe. So we have online modules, we have face-to-face mentoring, we have events. As you can see down the bottom, we've got lots of things going on. So we hold your hand and we do it with you. So yes, you have your own business, you're a business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. So I ask you this, what road are you traveling on? Are you living your dreams or someone else's? Because at the end of the day, if you're not building your dreams, someone's going to hire you to build theirs. So I thank you for your time. I look forward to speaking to you all soon. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the question box, or you all have my number. Please don't hesitate to call or text. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a lovely evening, and I hope I've been able to shed some light on what it is I do. Thank you.